Now we're going to read from Luke chapter 4, verses 3 through to 13. And the devil said to Jesus, to him, "If you are the Son of God, tell this stone to become bread." And Jesus answered him, "It is written, man shall not live on bread alone." And he led him up and showed him all the kingdoms of the world in a moment of time. And the devil said to him, "I'll give you all this domain and its glory, for it's been handed over to me, and I give it to whomever I wish. Therefore, if you worship before me, it shall all be yours." Jesus answered him, "It's written, you shall worship the Lord your God and serve him only." And he led him to Jerusalem and had him stand on the pinnacle of the temple and said to him, "If you're the Son of God, throw yourself down from here. For it's written, he'll command his angels concerning you to guard you, and on their hands they will bear you up, so that you will not strike your foot against a stone." And Jesus answered and said to him, "It is said, you shall not put the Lord your God to the test." And when the devil had finished every temptation, he left him until an opportune time. We have these three temptations of the Lord Jesus. One is for, and he's hungry at the end of 40 days of fasting, and he says, turn this bread into these stones into bread. It's appealing to his flesh. And then he says, "I'll give you. I'll show you." He shows him all of the glory of the world, and he says, "I'll give it to you." And it's appealing to what his eyes would see, that great glory of the whole earth. And then finally, he says, just show everyone that you are, what an amazing person you are. You should be seen as the ruler of the whole earth, under me, of course, the devil would say. But Jesus says, "I'm not going to put God to the test." And in John, in his first letter, he kind of puts it in even more kind of succinct terms. He says this, "For all that is in the world, the lust of the flesh and the lust of the eyes and the boastful pride of life is not from the Father, but it is from the world. And the world is passing away and also its lusts, but the one who does the will of God lives forever." And we can see Jesus was tempted by the devil in these three ways too. The lust of the flesh for bread when he was hungry, the lust of the eyes when he saw all the kingdoms of the earth, and the boastful pride of life, that he would be seen to be this amazing figure by throwing himself off from the temples, from the pinnacle of the temple. And it's the same temptations that happened to Eve right at the very beginning. The very first sin happened, and you look at Genesis chapter 2, you can see here, chapter 3, and the devil came to the woman in the same way, and he said, "Did God really say?" He said, "Indeed, has God said, you shall not eat from any tree of the garden?" The woman said, "We can eat from anything apart from the tree of the knowledge of good and evil." And the serpent said to the woman, "You shall not die if you eat it, for God knows in that day you shall eat it, your eyes will be opened, and you will be like God, knowing good and evil." And when the woman saw that the tree was good for food, she saw that it was good for food, the lust of the eyes, and that it was a delight to the eyes, and that the tree was desirable to make one wise, she took from its fruit and ate. So it was good for food, the lust of the flesh. It was a delight to her eyes, the lust of the eyes. And it was desirable to make one wise, the boastful pride of life. And though Eve was deceived by the devil and took the fruit because of these three temptations that came, the lust of the eyes, the lust of the flesh, the boastful pride of life, Jesus faced the devil on these three counts, and he overcame them, so that he could become the one who had gone through the temptation. These three, if you like, all of our temptations can be traced through to these three: the lust of the eyes, the lust of the flesh, and the boastful pride of life. And Jesus overcame them, so that he could sympathize with us, but also so he could be our sacrifice, and so that he could be the judge of all the earth as well.